What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of the Tragically Hip. And we're finally back for the final tune on the Yer Favourites compilation 2005. Thank you enormously to Yvonne for sending this, and a great deal else that we've either only begun to go through or will go through in the future. But the last track, which I believe is a bonus track, I don't think it's from any of the albums, is called The New Maybe, which is an interesting phrase. To identify something as a maybe is to be non-committal, is to be uncertain, is to be ambiguous, but then to say that something is the new maybe speaks to the way that people often talk about whether it's, the age like 30 is the new 20 or whatever, the idea that there's a new perspective and a new dynamic that relates to a concept or a situation or a configuration that has existed previously but is now being cast in a new light, understood in a new way, practiced in a new manner. So the new maybe, there's an ambiguity to it, but also comedic factors. So I do wonder what it might relate to in practice, and perhaps there will be a very specific meaning, but perhaps also it's something that could apply on different levels or in different life situations. So I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is the Tragically Hip. The track is The New Maybe, and it's a bonus tune, I believe, included on their 2005 compilation, Yer Favourites.
You could write, you could think, you could have said, you could leave your jewelry in a bowl beside the bed, stare out the window down the lawn to the lake for as long as it takes. Maybe it's the we don't say. Maybe it's the things we don't say. Maybe it's the things we don't say. Maybe love is the new maybe. About too many nights, not enough days. I watch the birds fly south, and no, I don't wait. The last words out of my mouth stay out of my way. Now I'm in a wrong place. Maybe it's the thing we don't say. Maybe it's the thing we don't say. Maybe it's the things we don't say. Maybe love is the new maybe. Maybe love is the new maybe. Maybe love is the new maybe.
So that's cool. It feels like a demo. It feels like a track that maybe they were workshopping or had recorded in just a improvisational moment. Now, not knowing the full provenance of this, I wonder if it was something that they decided to throw on for the sake of the compilation, just a, like a tip, a gratuity on top of their greatest hits up until that point. But yes, as I said, it has a very improvisational feel. It sounds like, they picked up a guitar, Gord started singing, and they just recorded the outcome. It does seem like the essence of the title was what I was thinking, that love is the new maybe, which I suppose can be read in different ways, and some of the other lines maybe provide some clues as to what that meaning might be, at least specific to the intention of the themes. But the idea of, maybe it's the things that we don't say, and even that you can read in different ways, like things left unsaid, and maybe those which fester or which could have maybe brought issues out into the open that were left to build, develop, and maybe cause certain outcomes that they might not have if someone did speak. But you could also read it as like things we don't say because we don't have to, because our emotions know what the other is thinking, or we don't say them because they're obvious in the moment, sort of the Depeche Mode enjoy the silence, where, you don't need words, and indeed if you try to capture what we're feeling in words, it might diminish the moment. So again, I think you could read that in a couple ways. Then the lines about looking out the window across the lawn, like there's a everyday feeling to that, a simplicity to that, but perhaps also comfortable domesticity. So yeah, I don't really know how to take it, but the idea of love being a maybe, the idea of it being something that you have to commit to even if you don't know for sure what the outcome will be, maybe the idea that being part of something with another person will inevitably be somewhat unpredictable, and therefore not something that you can chart like logic or like empirical data, but which you have to feel and again partake in, even if it might not turn out well. It feels like there may be some of those sentiments there. There's a couple lines that I didn't hear clearly, and as I've learned with some of their songs, even if you can extrapolate or derive some more general principles, it feels like there is often a very particular meaning working as well. So yeah, I'd be curious to hear what Yvonne and any others have to say about this one. But as I said, it feels a bit like a tune in development, which is not a knock by any means. I've been going through demos for a number of different groups, and sometimes it's cool to hear how a song begins and some of the ideas, and they were just trying to get them out in a studio setting and let's try something. And then eventually at least some of those end up as album tracks, whereas others become these hidden gems that are released on deluxe editions and so on. So yeah, it feels a bit like that. I've enjoyed going through the Tragically Hip in the moment. I'm not sure what I might be able to do after this. Again, it's not impossible that I might be able to procure some Tragically Hip albums on my own, but of course I do go through a lot of music and I'm trying to keep up with techno records and so on, so my disposable budget is somewhat limited, but I'll see what I can do, because I very much have enjoyed learning about this band, hearing their style that again crosses over some different genres like folk rock and even in like some cases a bit heavier rock, but also like indie rock. It just feels like they kind of operate in some overlapping genres, but in each case do it in their own way, which I think is a testament to a band that just has a creative and characteristic sound. So I very much enjoyed it. Shout out to the Hip, R.I.P. to Gord. Thank you again to Yvonne for sharing, and Todd and others who've commented. And David, if you're still out there, I'm rooting for you. Hopefully we'll see you again someday. But yes, very much enjoyed going through this 2-disc compilation. It's okay, Luca, you can take my chair. I'm not making you get up. We'll see what she does here. I think she might vacate. No, she's going to consider things. In any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.